Right now I'm running everything you see. Now this will make sense here in a minute. I'm not running the light yet. I'm working on it. But if you see that, you kind of might get what I'm doing. And I'm going to hide you for a minute. I'm going to walk outside here. I've been at this all week, making this work. So, this is my third attempt at this video, by the way. Here you go, you ready? It's going to be bright. Hello. I had these solar panels for a couple years now, and I have more of them down there on the roof. I think there's 4 or 5 more. But I had these on grid tie inverters. They hook right to the grid and pump power back in it. But the electric company busted me. Well, they didn't catch me all the way. But right now, this solar is running my Starlink. It is running the computers I just showed you. It's running that light here in the shop. It's running 2 of them actually. And my solar is running the damn pellet stove. Now, I'll step back here, see if I can get all this in picture. This is my setup. Now I got a little wiring cleanup to do yet, but I made this expandable. I'm going to fill these shelves with batteries. That way it'll run on solar probably, I'm going to say 23 out of a 24-hour day, if we have sun. Now, we're all on solar here. There's no electric hook to this anywhere. Nothing. And right now we are pulling, had to read it upside down, guys, 290. So we're running a quarter of what this grid tie inverter, or not the grid tie, just the sine wave inverter is rated for. Now this is an expensive one, and these batteries are expensive. So are the solar panels. But I found this charge controller for my solar in Grantsville at that market that sells all the Amazon returns. I paid $7 for this thing, which is completely awesome. Now we're using 1 amp to the 12 volt side right now, and this is a 24 volt to 12 volt converter. I have this set on a 24 volt system. You don't have to use as big of wires when you do that. So this is what we're putting to the 12 volt side right now. This is the temperature inside here. 15. I don't know what that means yet. But this is what my batteries are at right now. 26.9 volt. The solar is bringing in 32 volts. The solar is putting in 19 amps. The batteries are staying 100% charged even with all this stuff running, because that's all we're doing. We're running off just the panels right now. I've been running them off of them since 9 o'clock this morning when the sun come out. This is the battery at battery voltage. This is what's going out, my 3/4 of an amp, a little under, to the 12 volt side. And 52 amp hours. 1 amp hour is what that used. And then back to the temperature. But the 12 volt side of it goes to a fuse box, and then I have outside lighting, and then I have the lights in here, and these are 12 volt. It's the same thing I got on my deck at camp. And then I charged my battery this morning on my drill. But yeah, it's working really good. Nothing's getting hot. See, when you run a 12 volt system, you got to have great big wires. And on a 24 volt system, you don't, which is really cool, because copper wire is expensive. But now this blank space here is going to be for a transfer switch, and we can set my batteries to a voltage that when the batteries get down to a certain volt, I don't want them to go all the way dead, because I want to run outside night lights. So at the end of the day, when the batteries deplete at some point, the transfer switch will transfer it back to grid power. If that makes sense. And then, if I remember right, just on these two batteries fully charged, sorry I'm moving this around. If I did the math right, you get 1 hour out of one battery at 1,000 watts. So if we're only using a quarter of that, so 4 and 4, that should give me 8 hours of battery. Now I don't want to run them all the way down, because like I said, I run around my outside lights. Now there are 160 watt solar panels out there, and they don't get sun all day long. And then when we don't have any sun, I'm going to mount a battery charger here somewhere. It mounts to the charge controller, and it'll charge my batteries on grid power when the sun's not out. So it'll be a self-contained system when I'm done. I run out of money, so I'm going to have to wait for the rest of it. But this has come a long way since the 10 years or so I did this again. I wish they would have had this stuff back then, because I blew a lot of money and it didn't work very well at all. So, you know, $500 electric bills are getting a little pricey for me, because with this economy, work's been really slow. But yeah, you know, thank you guys for watching this. Maybe a little information. I know there's a gazillion videos on solar on YouTube, so I just want to say it's come a long way. Now, money wise, for this setup, these were $400, like $7 I paid for that, and then this was another $400, $50 miscellaneous, and then the panels themselves, they were 160 watt, they were probably $130. I bought these a couple years ago, and I have more, so I got a lot more work to do to it yet, but it is really working good. I'm totally impressed. No, it is what, damn near 8 o'clock. It is 8 o'clock. Now we had some clouds here. The clouds come in about, I don't know, 4 o'clock-ish, off and on. And it's now 8 o'clock. I haven't made a whole lot of power in that time, but my batteries were already full. And these batteries are really impressive. You know, I've run lead acid batteries for a long time, but I did me a little wiring here today. I run 12 volt out to my squanch lights. And then let me hit a light here. wired up some sconce lights, and you know, this is, I've had used lead acid batteries, like I was saying, for years. What's going on with my light? Oh, you gotta hold it down, I guess. Alright, like I said, I've been using lead acid batteries for years. You know, and I'd get 2 hours out of them in this same setup. But right now I'm still running all the same stuff. I even added some things to it, like a shot light here, and you know, we've been going a steady 4 hours now on power, and this thing won't shut off. The inverter won't shut off till 19 volts. So we're really far away from that. This started out at 28 4 hours ago. So we've gone down, what? 5, 6, 7, we've come down 2 volts in 4 hours, which I'm telling you, this new battery technology is the shit. But we're not pulling a whole lot now. I think 250, maybe a little less in watts, and not very many amps. Now when I get a bigger battery set up, I'm going to get 2 more as soon as I can. And this thing's going to save me a hell of a pile of money, because it's running the pellet stove. It's running the lights in the garage, of course. I stole the light bulbs out of the sconces out there, and one in here because I don't have enough 12 volt lights. And I want to order brighter ones for in the garage. And I'm going to run them all the way down there. Now I'm still going to have to use my high bay lights here in the garage itself, because there's just no getting out of it. I'm going to need the bigger lights. Maybe one day I'll figure out how to wire them up. But that's going to be, I'll probably just run an extension cord up to them and come down, because they don't use much juice either. It's going to save me so much money. It's pretty unreal how much those batteries hold. So I'm just rambling at this point, so I just wanted to give you guys an update. But I can't wait to get another battery and see if I can run all this stuff all day long off the solar. That's going to be a game changer for me. I get a little more money, I'm going to do the same thing to the house. I'm going to hook it up to the whole house and run the whole damn thing. It's just a matter of time. Alright, thanks for watching, guys.